Welcome to Main Talk, where beauty meets business and nothing is off limits. I'm your host, Laura Bell, stylist, salon owner, and beauty industry lifer. At Salon 21, we keep things fun, unfiltered, and real, just like this podcast. Whether you're here for expert hair advice, industry insights, or just some good behind-the-chair conversations, we want you to feel at home. Grab your coffee or your wine, and let's get into it. Hi, and welcome back to Main Talk. I'm your host, Laura Bell, and today's episode is all about smooth skin, golden tans, and the occasional service slip-up. We're diving into the world of aesthetics today, how to prep for your services, what not to do, and some funny mishaps along the way. But before we get into all that, I've got a special guest on the mic with me today. She's our stylist here at Salon 21, and in addition to slaying hair, she also offers aesthetic services like spray tans and sugaring. And let me tell you, she's killing it. Everyone, please welcome Madi. Madi, tell everyone a little bit about yourself, how long you've been in the industry, what services you love doing, and maybe one thing most people wouldn't guess about you.
So I have been in the industry for 4 years now, but 3 of them have been with Salon 21. Some of my favorite services are more so the hair coloring, so like the balayage, the blonding, and I absolutely love my spray tans as well. One thing people probably wouldn't guess about me is that I cannot fold our spray tan tent down for the life of me. I, After every single spray tan, I have to leave it up in the room, and then Laura has to come fold it down whenever she gets a free minute.
Yeah.
I just can't do it.
And I think I have showed every stylist here how to do it. And it is just something that you can't think about. You just have to do. And then, of course, when someone's watching you, I then can't get it down. So I have to tell them to leave. And yeah, it's like those kids like pop up tents or those tubes. And then you have to try and like fold it into this small bag again. So yeah, it's definitely a tricky one. But
Yeah.
funny how the person that does this spray tans is needs a little help, but
Yep.
that's what we do here. We help each other out, right?
Exactly.
All right, so let's kick things off with something that can really make or break the results. It's all about the prep. Madi, you do a ton of spray tans and sugaring at the salon. So I have to ask, when it comes to getting ready for these services, how can clients prep like a pro? What should they be doing before they even walk through our door?
Okay, so let's start with spray tans. If you want that glow to look flawless and actually last, your prep is everything. First off, you want to exfoliate before your tan and make sure you get rid of any dead or dry skin to make sure everything's going to sit nice and even on the skin. You want to skip the lotion and deodorant or anything that create a barrier on your skin as well. And definitely always wear loose, dark clothing to your appointment. No tight jeans, no sports bras, nothing like that. And please don't come straight from the gym. We don't want you covered in sweat before your spray tan. It won't help.
Yeah, definitely not a good mix. Nothing like trying to tan over a layer of sweat and secret deodorant. That's not the kind of glow we're looking for here.
For sugaring or waxing, it's kind of the same idea. Your prep really makes a huge difference. You want to make sure your hair is about the length of a grain of rice. That's pretty much your golden length of hair. And you just, if it's too short, the wax or the sugar isn't going to be able to grab it properly, and then you're going to be stuck with little hairs sticking out. Exfoliating a day or two before helps reduce the chance of ingrown hairs, and this one surprises a lot of people, but try and avoid caffeine right before your appointment. It can make you more sensitive to the pain.
Wait, so you're telling me my iced coffee might be making me more dramatic during my wax? Honestly, this could explain a lot.
Hate to break it to you, but don't recommend having a nice coffee before you come in. Prepping properly isn't just about making things easier in the moment, it actually affects your results and how long they last. A little effort before your appointment really pays off. So, my top do's and don'ts: do exfoliate ahead of time, do wear comfy clothes, and do not use any products on your skin that day. Don't be scared to ask questions. We're here to help you to make sure you're not stressed before your appointment.
See, and this is why we all need that checklist on the fridge. Exfoliate, skip the lotion, and leave the latte at home. I got it. All right, so you've done all the right prep, survived the appointment like a champ, and what now? Madi, walk us through what happens after our services. This is where people start texting us. Wait, can I shower yet? How long does this have to sit on?
Totally. So, after your spray tan, the number one thing is no sweating, no showering right away. Give your tan the full time to develop, which is usually anywhere between 8 to 12 hours. I usually say 12 hours for the best results, depending on what kind of solution was used, of course. And once you get to the shower, skip the hot water and use a gentle soap. And then make sure you pat yourself dry and just use a gentle moisturizer and moisturize at least twice a day. The more you moisturize, the longer your tan's going to last and you'll have better results.
So maybe don't plan your spray tan before a hot yoga session or maybe your niece's third birthday party at a trampoline park.
Exactly. You have to give it time to set. For sugaring, the first couple days are all about keeping the skin clear and calm. So skip the hot tubs, saunas, tight leggings right after as well. Then around day 2 or 3, you want to exfoliate gently just to help with any ingrown hairs. And then like a light moisturizer, nothing crazy though.
Okay, but how often are people supposed to come back? Like, how long can we feel smooth and glowy before the maintenance of panic sets in?
That's a great question, Laura. So for spray tans, it's usually once a week or every 10 days, depending on your routine and how well you take care of it. For sugaring, most people come in every 4 to 6 weeks to stay on a good growth cycle, but consistency is key. It gets easier every time, less hair comes back every time as well.
Okay. And what is one thing that you wish every client knew after their appointment?
The aftercare is just as important as the appointment itself. Like, we can give you the best service ever, but if you go home and take a super hot bath and don't exfoliate for the 2 weeks, it's going to show. When you follow the aftercare, your results last longer and everything just looks and feels better.
All right. So we've covered the prep, the appointment, and the aftercare. But let's be real. Even when everything's done right, things can always go hilariously wrong. So before we wrap up, we thought we'd share some of our wildest, most awkward moments we've experienced in the treatment room. And yes, that includes our clients' confessions too. Because honestly, who hasn't had a beauty appointment that made them want to disappear? So, Maddie, I know you've got a few good ones, so spill it. What's been your absolute worst, funniest, or most unforgettable experience?
So, my absolute worst experience has actually been my own experience when we did our sugaring course back like 2 years ago now, when we first got certified in our sugaring. I have never ever done any sort of waxing, anything at this point except like my eyebrows, like facial waxing. And we had to be each other's models for a bikini waxing. And we had to grow out our hair for like 4 weeks or so.
Yeah.
So it was pretty long. And she had me up on the bed. I was a little bit nervous, so I was a little bit sweaty. And Laura was just holding my hand while this girl that was still new too was learning to do it. And as soon as she put it on, I just started crying. I just started bawling my eyes out. Very traumatic moment for me holding Laura's hand while this girl's sitting there ripping away my hair, and she wouldn't stop
No.
either. After I told her I needed her to stop. So my lesson is, if you ever need a break or you need to stop in the middle of getting waxed or anything, do not be afraid to ask, because I know the feeling and it's very traumatic.
Yeah. And everyone's pain tolerance is different as well. Especially if it is your first time getting a wax. Don't be afraid to ask us if you need a break. We always will start in like smaller sections so that you can see how it feels first. And then, yeah, if there's at any time you want to even stop the service completely, that's totally okay. We're definitely here to listen. So we can definitely stop, and don't be afraid to come back in like another like 4 to 6 weeks and try again. Every time you do it, you do become a little bit less sensitive. You know what to experience and what it's going to be like now. And that's what we're here for, to hold your hand along the way. I had a similar kind of story, not to myself, but for those of you that don't know, I did used to do a lot of the esthetician stuff here before I got crazy busy with just hair. So I did have a client once come in for her first ever bikini wax. And she told me right away that she also didn't handle pain very well. And I reassured her that we'd start small. I'd start at the top of the bikini line because that is kind of the less painful area if your bikini wax can be painless. So I started at the top, put the wax on, and I did tell her that at any time if she needed to stop, just to let me know that there was no pressure. So I applied the first bit of warm wax, and before I could even place the waxing strip on that patch, she panicked and said, "Nope, I'm not doing this. I want this off." And I tried to explain to her that it would be quicker and definitely a little bit less painful if I just removed that one tiny section of wax with the wax strip, but she absolutely refused. So, of course, listening to our clients, I said, no problem. I won't use the wax strip to get it off. But she asked how we do get it off. And I said, well, we have a wax remover, but that's more just to take a bit of the leftover stickiness off the skin. It's not really meant to sit there and scrub a whole patch of wax like right off someone's skin. So, needless to say, we spent probably about an hour soaking it with a wax remover. And it ended up hurting a lot more because as you're webbing the wax off with wax remover, it's also pulling the hair that you just grew out to get your service done. So if she had have just let me wax that little patch off, it would have been done in literally 5 seconds and we could have finished the service. But that's okay. I did what she wanted and we worked at it. We got it off. But lesson learned here is sometimes fear hurts a lot more than the wax itself.
Can confirm.
Yes.
It does.
And for you, those of you who don't know as well, we do offer here a more comfortable bikini wax option using a safe and professional grade numbing cream to help reduce the pain and make the experience easier. Because your comfort definitely does matter to us. So if you don't have a very high pain tolerance and you really want to get that bikini wax done, we do have a numbing cream that we can add on to your service that just allows you to get through your waxing or sugaring service without too much pain as well. All right. So we also have had some clients share their stories with us. So Maddie, do you want to go ahead and share one of your customers' experiences?
Of course I do. So I have one of my newer clients. She's getting married in October and she wanted to come try a spray tan for a trial, just to see if you like it or if there's anything you want to do differently before your spray tan. She ended up having to go for emergency dental pretty much right after her appointment. And you think when you go to get dental work, like they're pretty cautious with like the water gun thingy,
Yeah,
whatever
the
that's called.
spray in your face,
The
but
spray thingy.
definitely you can get a little wet during a dental appointment
Yeah,
because I've had a nice facial done before there with some of the work I've had.
for sure. But usually, if you tell them to be careful, they're gonna try their best to be careful. And she texted me first before she came to the salon. Like it looked like she's been crying, and I felt so bad for her. They managed to get the water all the way up, like to the side of her nose, up to like her hairline beside her eyeball, and then all the way down her neck to her chest. And there is this big white line there from where the spray tan solution came off. And like, how do you even spray someone like that? Like on a normal cleanup, you don't get that much water on you. I get maybe more on your chest, but up your face? I don't know how that was possible, but she came in, we fixed it. Everything ended up working out, and she's coming in for like her fourth or fifth spray tan now.
Yeah.
She
You
loves
definitely took it like a champ because when
did.
she walked in the door and I saw her, to be honest, I was like, holy shit. We're not going to be able to fix this one, but we'll definitely try our best. But Maddie did an amazing job and she left walking out like she just had a brand new spray tan again. And her results were amazing too. We did catch up with her after to make sure everything looked good and was even. So it's nice that the spray tans can be a little bit forgiving like that. I know I had a similar story where we always suggest you get the best result with a spray tan if you do want to go topless or bottomless, because then you don't have to worry about like spray tan,
Yeah.
like the lines, especially if you're going on holidays. So I did have a client that was going on a holiday. It was her first ever spray tan. So she was very nervous about going naked in front of someone, which I totally get. Like, I'm not one that wants to stand naked in front of someone either, but it's worth it for the spray tan. So
Very
I will
worth
do it. But she chose not to, and she wanted to just wear like a normal strapless bra, which was fine. So did her spray tan, loved it. She went home, and then when she got home, she was trying on some of her bathing suits and realized the bathing suits that she was going to wear were those tiny, tiny like strings to do up in the back.
Oh, yeah.
So when she tried that on, she had a spray tan mark that was like this thick across her back that there was no way of hiding that with this little bathing suit string. So she called and was like, you know what? I should have listened to you. I should have went just topless because of course when we go away on holidays too, I know I do. I pack like a different bathing suit for every day, like
Yeah.
7 different ones. So going topless and bottomless just allows you to be able to wear whatever you want without having to worry about tan lines. So she did actually come back. We were able to respray over her back to blend it and everything looked great. And she's had several spray tans since as well. So it's definitely, don't be afraid to reach out, ask the questions. We're here to help too.
And
So
I always say, I'm comfortable as long as you're comfortable. That's pretty much one of my big key things when someone gets a spray tan. And like, we're not here to judge either. We've probably seen everything.
Yeah.
We've seen it all.
And we don't apologize like for stretch marks, like your veins, for anything, because we're all human. Like,
Yeah.
I know it is hard to not like pick at little things you don't like, but yeah, we're all human. We're here to give you that beautiful glow, which and it makes you look and feel so much better. Like
Mhm.
I actually had a lady come in who just did a spray tan to go try bathing suits on for a trip, like going to a store to try them on, because she's like, when you have that nice, beautiful glow, you just feel and look and your confidence is just so
Yeah.
much better.
It
So,
really makes a difference. It's actually kind of crazy how much of a difference it makes.
do you have any other client stories that you want to share?
I had another one with actually the spray tan. This happened pretty recently. When you come for a spray tan, we have these little nose pieces.
Yeah,
So you just kind of literally have to shove them right up.
it's like a little nose plug.
That's all it is, but you literally have to take your 2 fingers, just shove it right up there, because otherwise the whole inside of your nose can be like full of tanning solution. It's not cute. Not a good feeling either.
No.
And then this was her second spray tan with me, so I kind of just, oh, you'd know the drill a little bit by now. And she came in and she rips the 2 nose pieces and she put them in her ears. And I was like helping her adjust her hairnet. And I was like, oh, she didn't put it in yet. And then I saw something in her ears. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, that's supposed to go in your nose. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. And like, I totally get it. We all have days like we're just our brains out of it. Like it happens to the best of us. But it's
Yeah,
just, oh, I died laughing,
that's so
laughing at it.
funny.
It was hilarious. Uh,
And it also, now we know too that to even know it's only someone's second tan, like we know now to just go over
yep.
everything, whether it's your first tan or your 20th tan, to just make sure we're going over everything properly so people know what they're doing so they have the best tan. And yeah, the spray tan stuff up your nose. When I was doing the spray tans before, I wasn't like you and wearing masks, because at the time masks were like unheard of before COVID. So I would just do the spray tans, and I should have put one of those plugs up my own nose, but I didn't. And needless to say, I'd come out of the aesthetics room with like black stuff running out of my nose, and I'd go to the bathroom and blow my nose, and literally just so much tanning solution came out.
The mask
So
makes a huge difference.
huge difference. So we wear a mask when we're spraying now too, but yeah, so if you're wondering why we need these little nose pieces during your spray tan, trust us, it's worth it.
Yeah, it's worth it. It might not look cute in the moment, but it's worth it. I promise.
And then I have one more story to share. It's not really a client story sharing this, it's just my own experience. So, another time I was doing a spray tan on someone, went over the thing, like what to do. I said, I'll be right outside and I'll knock to see if you're ready for me to come in. So, of course, I said, like, whatever you're comfortable with. If you want to go topless, we do have a disposable underwear you can wear. If you want to go completely naked, that's totally okay too. So I knocked on the door and asked if she was ready. She said, yeah, come on in. So I go in and she's doing a full blown yoga session in the middle of the spray tan tent. I don't know what that pose is called, where you like bend down to like touch your toes
Like
and bring your arms up. Like,
downward dog or something.
I don't know, like a breathing exercise. But I got a full picture of something as soon as I walked in that room that I don't necessarily see during a spray tan. So, being the professional that we are, we just continued with the service. But I definitely, yeah, I feel like I'm scarred with that picture ever since. But hey, it is what it is. Sometimes it's not all glamorous here.
No, that's for sure.
So, any more stories, Maddie, that you have to share? Did anyone else write into?
I actually did have one more client write in, and it was actually a really close family friend of mine. She wanted to try just doing her waxing at home. She was home alone, husband and kids were gone for the night, and she got those like Nair like wax strips in the dollar store, like just something quick and easy. And she's like, just sit in the bathroom floor and just started doing it. She's had waxing done before in the past, but when you do things on yourself, it's a little bit more painful,
Yeah.
right?
Just because you know when you're gonna like rip the strip off, so it makes it harder. And then you get a little all sweaty on your palms. So,
And then you're like,
oh gosh,
I gotta rip it up, and then you don't want to, right?
you're like, why am I doing this again?
And she had a couple glasses of wine, so she was kind of have like that confidence kick, right? And as soon as she got the wax on, she's like, "Oh my god, what am I doing? I can't do this." But she couldn't get like to rip it off. She was too scared to rip it off. And she tried calling someone. It was like 12 o'clock at night. No one would pick up. So she had to sleep with this wax strip on in the middle of the night. She couldn't get it off with hot water or anything. And she had to wait for someone to come the next day to rip it off for her. And she said her legs were stuck together.
Oh my gosh.
Like, that's something I would do.
Unfortunately, we don't have like a 1-800 helpline here for
No.
at-home waxing jobs.
That's what we're for. Come
Yeah,
see us
come
and
see
we'll
us.
do your waxing for you just to make sure you don't go home sticky with
Yeah.
wax strips all over you.
Yeah. I have one more. I feel like I have the most hilarious stories sometimes. But so usually we sometimes have these really big shows like esthetician shows, aesthetic shows, like hair shows, all of that. So there was a big aesthetic show down in the city I decided to go to. And picked up my cousin who is like into the beauty industry as well. She's actually a hairdresser and owns a salon now too. At the time though, she was just in high school, I believe, just like in the cosmetology class. So those kids are always welcome to these shows as well for like a student fee type thing. So I picked them up. We went to the city together, walking around the show. I was really interested in learning about the hard wax. So hard wax is done without a strip. So you're using the wax itself to like peel off. It's great for more sensitive skin as well. So I was like, you know what? That's one thing I really want to learn at this show. I want to look into hard wax, maybe purchase some, start using it. So went to the booth, found a company that I loved, decided to buy the intro kit. And she told me, oh, since you're buying the kit today, you actually are invited to come learn the Brazilians. So Brazilians are a lot different than bikini waxing. You do need a separate certificate for that. So unfortunately, at this time, we don't offer full Brazilians. And even though I took this small day course, it wasn't even a day course. It was like an hour course. And I wouldn't say I am certified in that after an hour. Like I would definitely take like a full course and go learn it. But since they were offering it, I'm like, you know what? I'll go to the course. We'll see what it's about. If I can just walk away with learning one thing from there, then great. So we get into like this big room with like chairs set up. There's a big like drop down screen coming from the ceiling with like cameras. So it's like being filmed and put up on the big screen for the people in the back that can't see. So they said, okay, we're going to get started with our Brazilian. Unfortunately, our female model didn't show up today. So we're going to go ahead and start with our male model. And I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I just, in my brain, thought, you know, Brazilian will be like women. I didn't even think about a man zillion, I guess you can call it.
Yeah.
So next thing you see this guy, you know, drops his pants, hops up on the table with a full camera showing all of his bits up on the big screen. And I just about died because here I am with like my 16-year-old cousin that I've taken along with me. And I look at her and I'm like, do not tell your parents where I took you today. And if you want to leave, we can leave. And she just started laughing at me, telling me I'm reacting way more than I should. So, yeah, we saw a full manzillion get done. And that was also an experience that I will never,
Is that
ever
like
forget.
the front and
Yeah, little everything.
oh,
Yeah,
everything.
a Brazilian is everything from front to back.
Nice.
Yeah, everything. They did actually ask if there was anyone in the audience who wanted to be their female model and get a free waxing done. And this one lady did volunteer, which good for her because there's no way I would be volunteering for something like that
No.
with
God, no.
all eyes on you. So yeah, so that was another experience that I will not forget. And if my cousin's listening to this, I'm sorry again for taking you there.
A little bit of trauma.
A little bit of trauma. So whether it's your first time booking a spray tan or you're a sugaring regular, we hope you got a few laughs and some insider tips today.
Just remember, your esthetician has seen it all. Prep right, trust the process, and don't be afraid to laugh when anything goes wrong.
Until next time, moisturize, wear loose clothing, and if your wax melts in a microwave, abort a mission immediately, please. Thanks, Maddie, for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Laura. It was awesome.
Thanks for hanging out on Main Talk. If today's episode gave you something to think about or just made you smile, go ahead and subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your beauty crew. Follow me on social at Salon21 Hair and Aesthetics for more behind the chair moments, salon tips, and podcast updates. Until next time, keep it fun, keep it real, and keep creating beauty your way.